It's virtually the same number. The CIP budget of 1.7, 1.1 of that is transit, which is funded out of the dedicated transit fund, the excise tax percentage that has been set aside. And as of today, the attempts at the legislature to borrow it have failed. So that fund is intact. As you know, the mayor's policy has been to keep dedicated funds completely whole. We will never raid a special fund, whether it's for sewers or, in this case, transit. So that's, if you want more detail or if you have any additional questions, I'd be happy to answer them. But there's a lot of information available online if you want to see all of the gory details. Then comes the process of the remaining 50 million shortfall, and that's where you're seeing the reporting in the daily papers about fee increases, property tax increase, bus fares, and various other fee increases, golf courses and that sort of thing. Some of those fees haven't been raised in years, although the costs to operate those services have gone up steadily. And it's just the normal process of balancing the budget to make sure that you adjust fees that haven't been adjusted in a while. The property tax rate that's proposed is still less than it was 2 years ago, so it's hovering in the same area as a percentage. And with that, I will move on to the specific questions that were asked last week. There's a lamp post missing in that triangular park on Kapiolani Triangle, I guess is what it's called. Kailani, I'm sorry. Anyway, we're trying to get a specific date for getting that thing replaced. We understand that the situation involving the people hanging around on that park has improved slightly, and the police have focused on it. So hopefully the reason for destroying the last lamppost will not reoccur. There was a suggestion for a homeless liaison to be created to address the issues at Kapiolani Park. I know the HPD chewed over the issue, and I'm going to more or less defer to the councilman who's proposing some more aggressive legislation that may give the police a little more capacity to solve that problem a little quicker. But I was grateful to hear what you heard, that they are making headway, not as fast as we would like, but they're following what they feel is a process that will work over the long term and survive the courts. A banyan tree at Kaiolu and Kuhio is on private property, so the owner of that property has been notified to pay attention to the condition of that tree. I'm just reading what they gave me. Well, I would say they addressed the issue, but the point is that wasn't a city tree. That was private property.
So we don't know why exactly it was chopped down, or under what circumstances, I take it. So the owner just did it then? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know the condition. I know the city has to take out banyan trees on occasion because of the condition of the tree itself. It becomes a hazard. But I can't tell you about this specific instance. Status of the fountains in Waikiki. Again, there's ongoing maintenance and repair scheduled on several of those to fix leaks, repair pumps, and provide other repairs. So hopefully we will address that situation. There was a lot of discussion about the city regulatory agencies, other than HPD, being able to ticket offenders for violations of liquor laws. There is some progress in the area of smoking violations. That was another thing that was specifically asked for. And I believe, if I'm reading this correctly, there is a law being assessed right now on whether they can grant authority to the Liquor Commission to ticket people that are in violation of that. So that would add a lot of extra enforcement capacity. Because apparently what's happening is, you know, they cover it up by the time the police get there, so they need a little more stealthy enforcement. So that might be part of the solution. So that's what I have. If you have any additional questions, I'm ready to field them at this point.
Okay, how about, let's have Jeff, then Jeff.
Is there any budget for the Paukalani Avenue sidewalk here for the children to get around, to get to school here? I mean, this has been for years, and there's no talking of any budget to do a sidewalk here, right up here at the very corner of Kuhio and Paukalani.
I don't know of one, but I'll double check again. I know we talked about that in the past.
Talked about it for many years already. And also again on the promenade, the rodent holes are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And Parks was supposed to do something about that. If you ever want to cruise down the promenade, go check out all of the humongous holes, you know. And I don't know what they were going to do about that, except I thought that they were putting some kind of poisonous bait down there for the rats, you know, that are in the Alawai area, supposedly. I don't know. But if you could check on that for me, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right.
Keith, I guess I wasn't clear, and I know it was a couple weeks ago, but I had a concern with the traffic light standard at Ka'iolani and Kuhio, and it wasn't in the park, but my concern was that it's just a silver standard stoplight traffic light standard that they installed a couple weeks ago, and it does not match the green wrought iron every other traffic light standard in Waikiki. And my concern is if now they're going to be replacing or installing traffic light standards that are just standard issue and not complying with the street furniture theme of the green wrought iron. So that was my concern. It's still there. It looks like it's temporary. They don't have a concrete footing around it. So I'd like to know if that's temporary, when it's going to go away, or when they're going to encase it in the required green wrought iron.
Okay.
And then as far as, I guess my concern is, you know, the fountains, that was my question. I don't, and I knew the question would be either the parts are on order from the mainland or, you know, something else. These haven't been operating for months. I don't understand why none of them have been operating. The surfer guy down there.
You're talking about the one with the guy in the surfboard?
That's been a year at least.
Yeah.
Keith.
More than that.
Yeah, and then also the one where at Kalakaua and Kuhio, why isn't that functioning? That's been a year. It just, and to hear the parts are on order or it's under maintenance, that's unacceptable. That's flat out unacceptable to me. And I'd like if you could go back and ask the powers that be and say that's not good enough. Let's get some answers. It's been a year.
What I think I need to do is identify the specific fountains that we're talking about. Because
well, everyone in Waikiki, I mean, I don't know of one functioning other than the one at Alawai and Kapahulu. I don't know a single other fountain that's functioning in our area. All right? Thanks.
Okay.
Keith, earlier I was talking about the parking spaces disappearing in Hobron Lane. Is that the city and county, or is that?
If it's on Hobron, it's city and county.
Yeah, well, I had mentioned earlier, you probably heard me about this, 3 or 4 stalls that were painted black without notifying any of the residents or even coming in a neighborhood board and giving us a heads up on maybe they're going to be taking away some stalls, you know, and I thought it was not only inappropriate to go that manner, but sneaky kind of an approach. Maybe they're trying to take away stalls to get people to buy more rented stalls. I don't know, but can you check it for that for me?
I'll go
I appreciate
down
it, brother.
Again, I got to identify specifically where you're talking about.
It's on Hobron Lane. One is at the corner, and the other 2 are mixed in the center between the circle.
But there's fresh black paint painting out.
Yeah.